Hey explorers, today we have an egg-sighting experiment that's going to leave you amazed. The bouncing egg experiment. For this experiment, you only need a few household items, including eggs, vinegar, a glass container, tongs, and a plate. But I'm going to take this experiment a step further by making an egg that glows in the dark by using tonic water. First, let's get our hands on a raw egg. Just an ordinary egg, but we are going to turn it into something incredible. We're going to take our egg and we're going to carefully place it inside of our glass container. So there we go, right down to the bottom, making sure not to crack it. Then all we need to do is fill it up just enough so that the egg is submerged with white vinegar. Just enough to cover the egg fully. Then in our second jar, we're going to create a solution that's half vinegar and half tonic water. So first let's add our vinegar. And then we'll add about the same amount of tonic water. So now the second jar just needs another egg. Again, very carefully, just dropping it into the solution. The vinegar is filled with tiny little acid molecules, and the shells of the eggs are made of calcium carbonate. The acid in the vinegar breaks down the calcium carbonate in the eggshells, releasing carbon dioxide gas, which is what's forming these little bubbles. For our second egg that's in half vinegar, half tonic water, you might remember from our glow-in-the-dark Jell-O episode that tonic water has a special molecule in it called quinine, which reacts by glowing in the dark when it's exposed to UV light. Leave your eggs in the solution for 1 to 2 days and you'll be able to watch as the chemical reaction happens. All the little bubbles as the carbon dioxide gas is released as the acid eats through the eggshell, leaving a bouncy, squishy surprise. And in the case of this egg, one that glows in the dark. It's been 2 days, so now it's the moment of truth where we're going to take our eggs out of the solutions and then see how squishy and bouncy and fluorescent they are. With me right now, I've got the 2 eggs, the egg that was in vinegar and the egg that was in vinegar and tonic water. Then I've got my tongs to pull them out, a plate for bouncing, and I've got some water so I can rinse them off before I start playing around with them. Pull the eggs out of the solutions. So we'll start with the vinegar-only egg. Ooh, okay. Just trying to be very careful here. Dunk it in the water, rinse it around, and I'm gonna grab out our fluorescent egg that was in the half tonic water, half vinegar solution. I'm gonna grab some paper towel as well so I can clean off these eggs the rest of the way. Ooh, they are definitely squishy and a little slimy, but just cleaning it off and it's leaving behind this really cool looking egg, and you can definitely feel that squish there that's happening. That translucent membrane around it that's been cooked by the acid in the vinegar. You can even see the yolk inside still moving about in there. Now we get to find out if the tonic water in the second solution worked. So first, we've got to turn the lights off. All right, explorers, I've got my UV light, and as we can see, we did get a little bit fluorescent with our second egg. That's so cool. So that's just squishy. Oh, squishy and translucent, just glows a little bit under our UV light. So our regular egg is showing us that we don't really have anything going on here, but our second egg that was in the tonic water solution, you can see this glow kind of permeating the entire egg as soon as the UV light hits it. This is our fluorescent egg, and you can see it's glowing just a little bit more. Oh, that's so cool. Such a little trick to make this experiment just a little bit cooler. So here they are beside each other for reference. So now for the next part. So we've checked to see that our egg is fluorescent, and now we get to do the bouncing part. So they've definitely both got some squish, and now we just want to see how well these can bounce. We're probably only going to get a couple bounces out of these before they break open. That mucous membrane that cooked in the acid is still quite thin, so we only really get to do this a couple times, but it should be pretty cool. So let's try it out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like a bouncy ball almost. Oh, that's so cool. And just to make sure our second one worked. Woo! Our egg that we had in the vinegar and tonic water solution clearly wasn't as strong as the egg that was in just the vinegar. This one must have cooked just a little bit more, so the membrane's just a little thicker. Still very cool to see it fluoresce under the UV light after the experiment was done, but it is really neat to be able to get to bounce this vinegar egg. And we got to see how our tonic water egg reacted under the UV light, which was so cool. I love getting to do an experiment where you get a couple different versions of it at the same time and get to see how they differ, which is the really exciting part about experimenting like this. To make sure you don't miss any other exciting experiments in the lab, subscribe to Clayton's Exploration Station on YouTube and social media. Plus, you can head over to explorationstation.net in order to find worksheets for this experiment and more. Now you stay curious out there, explorers.
Clayton's Exploration Station.